The AAA gaming space and our favorite collectible hobbies very rarely overlap, and it does appear we may have to wait a little longer. So, as some of you may previously been aware of, there was potentially a G.I. Joe Snake-Eyes AAA video game in production over at one of Hasbro's development teams, but now news is coming out that this may no longer be the case. But first, if you do enjoy what we're doing here on the channel, think about hitting that like button as well. If you're new to the channel, think about hitting the subscribe button. We do really appreciate all your support. There have been very few G.I. Joe video games in development over the years, and you know what? Some have come and gone. Some have been okay, some have been not so good, but apparently the team over Hasbro was working with Atomic Games as one of their development studios, and apparently we're in full production of a potential AAA G.I. Joe Snake-Eyes based game. Not much has been known about this game. There's only been a few pre-rendered screenshots made available with not much details being made public. It does appear that this has all come to a screeching halt. First made aware to me by HissTank.com's Facebook page, where they had a quick post on it saying that the development team has been since shut down. They went down and referenced a WCC Tech article where those guys over there went into more depth about the development cycle and what has happened to the development team, and apparently it's not good news. Based on a story that the WCC Tech posted, Atomic Arcade, the Hasbro and Wizard of the Coast owned studio that was making a game based on the iconic G.I. Joe character Snake-Eyes, has reportedly been shut down. The news broke from one of the former team members, gameplay programmer Dominic Braun, shared on his personal LinkedIn account that he'd been laid off following Hasbro and Wizard of the Coast decision to close Atomic Arcade. At the time of this writing of the article, there's been no official word from Hasbro, Wizard of the Coast, or the Atomic Arcade confirming the closure of the fate of the Snake-Eyes game. They've reached out for details to get official statement. However, following the publication of the story, a representative from Hasbro did send a statement to WCCF Tech that the Snake-Eyes game is not canceled. The team is currently taking time to evaluate the path forward for the game. While decisions haven't been finalized, we're committed to providing updates as soon as we're able to. Now that's the official story. Hasbro is kind of saying, no, you know what? We have not officially canceled this game as yet. We'll get back to you. However, look, if you have followed the video game industry at all, you know for a fact it's never a good sign when the development studio has been closed or shut down. Games do not come back from that milestone. So, I mean, the idea that this game might be resurrected somewhere else is slim to none. You know, the fact that Hasbro has not officially made the decision to list this game as canceled is just optics at the moment. The fact that the studio, the team, they're not in production anymore means more than likely that this game is canceled and we will not ever see the light of day. As a fan of G.I. Joe, it's hard to hear that, you know, a potential video game has been canceled, but when we look back and we really think about this, I think a lot of people, when they got word that a AAA G.I. Joe game was in production, always were a bit skeptical that this would ever make the light of day. You know what? The thing is, G.I. Joe is a big collector brand, but is not known as a top tier brand that will be able to support a AAA game. So you know what? The fact is, while no official word has been made as of yet, there is good chance we'll never see anything come from this at all. Anyways, sad news for sure. I feel bad for all the people at Atomic Games that potentially have been impacted by this decision, but you know what? Hopefully they land on their feet somewhere else in the industry. Anyways, as of right now, it doesn't look like we'll ever see the Snake-Eyes game or potentially any other G.I. Joe game. And you know what? Hasbro is not having much luck here in video game industry at all. Anyways, a lot of us are still waiting on the Fall and War of Cybertron games. Will we ever get remasters or re-release from Activision or Xbox related to these games? So, you know, a lot of things are happening. No Transformer games, no G.I. Joe games. It kind of sucks, but it's just the current state of the industry. Anyways, thanks for watching. That's the news update. Anyways, let's get back to collecting some G.I. Joes and Transformers. Talk to you soon.